I'm on Twitter, and apparently this thing continues. And I said I'm gonna 12 video this bad boy. So we're video number 2. I might lose count at some point, but it's necessary that we beat this notion on the head dead, because PlayStation fanboys have one mantra: ever hating, ever downplaying Xbox. There's no rhyme nor reason to the reasons why they do that. In fact, I asked the PlayStation fanboy, I said, if a game like Starfield came to your platform, would you be against the convenience? Do you know what they told me? They said, well, I'd never play Astrobot on anything other than a Nintendo. They didn't answer my question. I said, well, we're not talking about Astrobot. I'm talking about like an Xbox console game that is not available on PlayStation. If it were to show up on the PlayStation, what would you do with it? They said to me, well, games have a particular feel to them and where you play them. Guys, I'm not kidding you. I don't want to show you anybody's username. I'm reading this stuff to you. They said Tomb Raider wasn't the same on Xbox, nor was Tekken or Crash Bandicoot. Gears on PlayStation has a particular funny feel to it. So this person basically is now actually lying to themselves, as the question now is, okay, you weren't interested in buying a console because a game was not interesting to you if it was locked on that console. But if the game comes to your console, would you buy it? Do you know what they start telling me about the feel? Well, how would you know what it feels like when you're not even interested in buying the console where the game exists on to play the game? It's a whole load of nonsense. It's horse manure. That's what these people are doing. Like, they're literally making it their own thing to constantly make sure that, because now Xbox has got them in a corner. You don't like our console, we'll bring the games to you. What is your excuse? It has a certain feel to it. How would you know the feel? You see how the logic, this is why I blocked a lot of PlayStation fanboys. Many of them could not stay logically coherent. As much as I would say, all right, just kind of help me follow your thought process. Help me. And then you know what this person tried to do? They tried to even insult me. I said, so what is this feel you're talking about? Can anybody else replicate the feel? You know, the game feel. I said, is it a controller thing? They're like, well, you're a PC gamer, so you don't know. It will go right over your head. And I laughed, and we were talking about Spider-Man, because they were like, I'll never play Spider-Man on Xbox. I was like, bro, there are a bunch of Spider-Man games on Xbox. It's only the 2018 and Miles and Spider-Man 2 that are not there. What's the inherent difference? I mean, people on PC play it with different controllers. I said, how about people who only play mouse and keyboard? What feel are you talking about? And then they tried to insult me, and I said, you got to understand that I played 2018 Spider-Man on the PS4, remastered on the PS5, Miles Morales on the PS5, and Spider-Man 2 on the PS5. And then I've played almost everything else on PC, because I have them all here on PC. I haven't taken the time to beat them again, because I downloaded a 100% file just so I could do mods. So what feel are you talking about? Because after playing both of them, I'm not seeing it. So I asked them, have you played on PC to know this feel? They ran away, no response. It's a load of nonsense. At first, I thought maybe this would be job security without me losing my marbles, but man, it appears that I'm on the brink some days. I eventually calmed down because one of our audience members told me that trying to appeal, and I'm going to say this, to truth and reality to many PlayStation fanboys is almost akin to a bunch of monkeys trying to launch a space shuttle to the moon. They're never going to be able to do it competently. And I think this is the psyche of many of these fanboys, as they've basically converted their preference of a platform to a religious cult. Colt Eastwood said this, if you believe, I don't even know where he would have gotten this from, but this is wild. If you believe that Game Pass costs more than $5 billion a year to run, and most Xbox first-party games lose money, I don't know how to help you understand that Xbox Game Pass is profitable. A lot of people here are just like, they're being willfully ignorant and pining all their hooved hopes and dreams into wishing it weren't profitable so they could exit the gaming industry. Any day now, it pains them that Xbox is not only profitable, rapidly gaining ground, and they're scared when Sony is second place, they'll lose their identity of winning at life by some sort of weird proxy by association. They spent years wrapping their pathetic identities into the plastic box and are afraid now. Brand loyalty needs to leave your body. There's a reason. The way I actually run the YouTube channel is not a good way to run growth, because I am as abrasive as heck to fanboyism. The reason is because I want to scrub off something that is inherently tied to a lot of gamers who have been playing games all these while. Because these companies and developers have used years of marketing to siphon and put blinders on the eyes of gamers. Many Nintendo players who swore that their big deal is owning the Nintendo cartridge. You can resell the games. I used to walk into GameStop. I said Game Pass. And they would just sit there, because I usually don't interrupt. When someone's talking to me, I'm like, yeah, I know, but I won't say I know. Oh, yeah, Nintendo games, the resale value. Only for Nintendo to go the way of the digital license crappy nonsense. And a lot of Nintendo players still jump in there nonetheless against the things that they held dear. I'm not talking about the ones that didn't care. If you didn't care about how the game was, whether it was physical on the cartridge or the SD card or whatever it is, I'm talking about the ones that said, yeah, that's all we play. They still jumped into the Nintendo 2 with this variable, whatever the heck it is. That's how many years of effective marketing has been done on many gamers. It's what's called brand imprinting. That's what it is. Where a brand is so imprinted on you, when it's time for you to go ahead and actually financially make a decision, you almost always lean to that brand. If you cannot think logically against it, my mom drove a Toyota hatchback, but I've never owned a Toyota in my life. But bro, I can tell you, the desire to own a Toyota is so strong. I don't know what it is. I just want one. Anything. I got Hondas. They're great too. They're like, they do the job, but the logic in me fights every day. They're fighting each other. Go get a Toyota. Go trade in this Honda of yours, man. It's not going to do the thing like the Toyota because it's an emotional thing. Some people are vibing from their gaming from this perspective, and the logical side, they won't let it win. Now, pricing, Toyota versus Honda. Hey, what's the difference? Probably not a lot, but if what's available and what meets my needs is made by Honda and meets my preference in pricing, I go for Honda. That's how logic should be. But we humans, we're emotional creatures. That's why these companies are multi-trillion-dollar companies and multi-billion-dollar companies. Hence, as a human being, you have to fight yourself consistently not to get carried away so that these guys continue to build bigger buildings while housing and taxes and insurance have inflated, and many Americans, and I'm speaking from what we're seeing on the data set, are hustling and struggling because for us, we feel like this piece of the, consumer side is a part of us. It's not. That kind of went a little farther than what the heck it is I was talking about. But boy, I tell you what, these PlayStation fanboys got me philosophical, man, because it's insane how much these guys don't necessarily want to hold to the facts. This user said this in reply to Colt's comment. They said there's nothing you or Xbox can say to make these people see Xbox is doing good and that Game Pass is indeed very profitable. If it was not profitable for Xbox, I'm absolutely sure Microsoft would have already shut it down. These are the same people that yelled at Microsoft for doing layoffs and canceling games. Yet, they're the same people that want to go ahead and question the profitability of Game Pass, especially with a company that is actually very risk tolerant, but loss intolerant. You know what I mean? They jump right in, bam. But once they see that it's sinking money, man, they look and say, man, nothing, man. And if the opportunity isn't there for them, they're not going to pursue it. But they see gaming and they see an opportunity because they're right where they want to be. Gaming already took a turn. It already took a shift. It moved to a specific direction. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, Xbox realized it. And once they could buy their way in, that was it. You could have claimed that maybe they were going to go ahead and shut down their gaming division. Yes, at some point in time. But once they acquired ZeniMax, I don't think they were interested in that. Right? You could make that claim. I'm not saying that they were doing that, but once they started to put more money into it, that started to phase out. And then when they bought Activision Blizzard King, all of you that are wishing that Xbox goes away, man, I better see you on PC. Comment section. Thanks for watching. Peace out.